think it's not so much, maybe not something I haven't had a chance to talk about, and I've tried to bring it up as much as possible, but just asking more about the other guys. Because there was valor everywhere. I mean, there were some incredible things that happened that day. And sometimes what's tough is, on the outside, things that are necessary in those moments in that day, they don't necessarily seem glorious by what might be Hollywood standards, but they're just as important to winning the battle. I know Dylan Meyer and Jacob Soames, and Soames eventually came up and reinforced the OP, but some of the gun trucks, they couldn't refill the ammo from inside the turret where it was covered. So, Soames, I know at one point, had to jump on the hood of a truck, exposing himself to enemy fire to put ammo in because he knew we needed it. And all those gun trucks were heavily targeted. I won't name him, but there's another guy, when the tow missile truck exploded, a missile landed in one of the fighting positions, and it sounded like it was starting to arm, and he grabs that missile and runs it out into the open and sets it down so everybody can stay in that fighting position, but he exposes himself to enemy fire to run out and do something like that. We already talked about Denton's search in Hovater. His best friend, I didn't even know this till I read one of the interviews, that he searched him, told him he loved him, and went back to fighting. Then he got wounded, and I've seen his hand, and I'm very close with Mike. He's been in my wedding, I've been in his. Our families are close, and that I didn't know that the bone was sticking out of his hand, and I remember sitting in the southern fighting position, and he's standing there, and he can't hold. Normally he would hold his weapon, with his right hand on the trigger, but he couldn't, so he's trying to hold up this machine gun with a right hand that doesn't work, and his left hand, and he's still trying to return fire when everybody else is wounded. And he's probably 20, 21 at the time. That stuff's impressive to me. Soames and Garcia and Sam and Denton, nobody told them to come up there. They just did it. Soames heard my call over the radio, from what I understand, and he was like, I want to go, let's go. And so he and Garcia moved to the traffic control point and met up with Sergeant Sam and Denton, and they moved up to the OP. And Bogar returning fire and then stopping and treating casualties, and how he was able to stay calm and process that and realize that, this is a bad situation, guys are hurt, and he's just continue to have the clarity of mind to know that, okay, I need to keep doing my job. He treated me, and then he turned around to go right back to do what he was doing. I think about Ayers getting hit in the helmet, and then if you get hit in the helmet once and they're aiming at your position, it's probably a logical thought that, it's going to happen again. And then he probably knew that he probably could kill him, but he kept doing it. I don't think I did anything greater than any of those actions. I think people see me when they hear the award, but I see the team. I see 9 guys that aren't here. That's my role. That's what I've accepted as my responsibility. That this isn't my award, it belongs to us. And it gives me some measure of comfort to know that, it's a new mission for me. I'm not getting an award. I'm not receiving an award. I'm receiving a new, purpose, and that's to talk about the guys and tell our story. And I'm very comfortable in that. It's talking about the guys can be emotionally difficult, but it's also the easiest thing to find the words to explain. Because you can just talk about what they did. I knew them. I can tell stories about things we did together. It's easy for me to talk about what they did because I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I was a part of it.